Very good.
Okay. Are you ready, Paula? I call the meeting to order for June 9th, 2020. Would you please rise for a moment of silence? Thank you. Would you please join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge the allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Trustee Sheets absent. Trustee Hunter.
Here.
Trustee
Here. Okay, we have our financial report. I will make a motion to approve our expenditures. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Sheets absent. Trustee Hunter.
Here.
Trustee.
Yes.
Okay, and we will move on to our department reports. Deputy Carter.
Good evening. So for the last 2 weeks, we had 154 calls to service. That is -6 from 2 weeks prior. We took 10 reports. It's a increase of 2. And we had 1 arrest made the last 2 weeks, which is a positive 1 from 2 weeks prior. We had a drug-related offense, which is also an OD, off of Lambert Road on June 4th. We had 1 burglary off of Lambert Road on May 28th, which is an increase of 1. Had a motor vehicle theft, which is -1 from 2 weeks prior on June 4th on London Airport Road. We had 3 thefts, is an increase of 1. Harrisburg, London, May 31st, West London Groveport on June 2nd, 1 on Lambert, May 28th. I had 3 weapon-related runs, which is even from 2 weeks prior. 1 off of meth, May 29th, 1 off of Opossum Run on May 30th, and 1 off of Regal. That's also May 29th. That is basically all I have. Is there anything that you guys need to switch? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good. On to road department.
We finished up our first round of mowing ditches. So we like to have them mowed by Memorial Day also. Weather didn't happen when we finally done. I would like to extend our deadline for the seasonal help 2 weeks, just to see if somebody would have happened to apply and didn't receive a single applicant. Okay with you guys?
Do you want to do it just 2 weeks or? Okay,
I don't know, you could just leave it until filled.
True.
yeah, let's do that.
I'm sorry, what did you say? You're going to extend it till when?
Till it's filled or
Okay.
pretty much the end of the season comes. And,
Try to make a motion. I'll just go ahead and make a motion to extend the application for a part-time road worker
seasonal.
for seasonal help till it's filled. Have a second? Roll call?
Trustee Sheets absent. Trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Yes.
blocks for our cemetery wall will be delivered tomorrow and Thursday. Stack them right out here. They wanted to charge us a storage fee, so just get it.
Smart thinking.
The next thing is our one gentleman that's still off on sick leave. He is out of time, and I am wanting to know if the board's okay with firefighters wanting to donate time. So, would that be you two? Okay.
You probably know more about this than I do. Is that, can they do that on their own, not using the union bank?
Right.
Just personally
Yeah,
donating?
just personal.
Yeah, their own
Thank you.
personal time.
I don't see any problem.
I would recommend, from my standpoint, the sick time rules we have in place in the contract, we probably should follow those. All the rules in the contract state you have to either donate time or to sell your time back, you have to remain 1,500 hours in the budget. So I don't know if we follow that or if.
And typically any donated time wouldn't count against anything, or like if there are rules, you can only use X amount of sick time to cash in or anything like that. Or you just have to maintain.
Well, the 96 hours is the cash in. So yeah, that would.
So yeah, okay, I'm just saying it shouldn't, if there's like if you use more than this.
It just says 50,
it would count.
at the end of it, you have to have 1,500 hours. I don't know if we want to keep that applied or not. I know unfortunately, the old guard leaving, a lot of the guys don't have 1,500 hours and may want to donate. So that's just something to consider. We may want to just have a quick executive session afterward and talk to the union president who happens to be here today.
I mean, do you see a problem with making an exception to that?
I don't see a problem with it, but it may, like I said,
I mean, people.
it goes outside the bounds of the.
He's got an appointment tomorrow also, so he may be coming back.
I don't fall into that agreement, and I would be above 1,500 hours anyway. I'd be happy to donate them some time to get them through to whatever, just to, we can get this kind of solved.
I would think if you're going to make an exception, that you have to sign off on it. That way you don't have to worry about grievances or something.
Anybody.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of guys that would want to donate to them, but they may fall under that 1,500 hours. We've got a lot of young guys here who may say, yeah, I'll give them 24 hours.
Are there like long-term repercussions of making an exception one time? Because that wouldn't put them below
As long
1,500
as.
for more than the current year, correct?
Right. Well, no, some guys aren't even to 1,500 yet. They haven't
Right.
made it that far.
Okay.
We probably
they're-
should have a short executive
Maybe
session.
establish,
They're earning sick leave at 15 hours per
Yeah.
month. So,
Okay. Maybe establish a quick.
I think that's,
We'll
I
invite
think that's
you
probably a
to
good idea.
An executive session with the union
Yeah,
president.
I think, and Chris happens to be here, so I think just bringing him in and talking to him and seeing
If
if,
we do it and then and he can sign off.
and Aaron Price is here as well. He's on the executive board too. So we're fortunate that there's a couple overtimes today.
We can cover all bases.
Yeah. But like I said, in the short term, I'd be happy to, since I don't fall into that, I'd be happy to give him some time to get him through the next pay or whatever he needs.
My next item is we've had a phone call from funeral home. We have an indigent burial. It's usually $750 is all higher than you. It's just people to accept this if they fill out. I did get an address. They were the resident of the township.
Okay.
I will get that form to the funeral home and have the family fill up.
Let me send you one that is. Okay. I'll do that for one.
And we got some new forms on trying to do our nuisance abatement. From what I was told, you just get a list of all your properties that are overgrown. And you guys have to make a resolution. I don't know if you have to make one to start it to begin with, and then
each time you come up with a group of them, that's a different resolution, but
Didn't you say Pete told you?
Should be a
each one?
resolution per address.
all for each one. Okay, because they had it.
At least we do it that way, Barry, because
Okay.
we do assess the cost to the, so I guess that was my next question. Are we planning to assess the cost for your time and equipment?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, that,
Okay.
we should do it. That's how, and I actually have a resolution here, too.
Yes, if you were wanting to pay for it, I imagine.
Yeah.
But they were saying that a lot of times if it's sent to the lien holder, they'll just go ahead and pay to have it done, just so there's no lien on the property.
Do you have a
Okay.
company to run title searches to give you all the lien holders? That too.
Uh,
I'd give you one of those too.
okay.
They charge like $75 per address.
Do we have to do that?
Usually,
That's how you get the lien holders.
well, do you go with just the resident first, then
Call Madison and ask them how they do that.
Other than that, just a quick side note, the Board of Health, they did false mosquitoes the other night. You saw the map, the green area. I guess they end up going back on the old Oakhurst Golf Course and went back in there and did a bunch on the golf course itself. So that should help out the people of Oakhurst. So
I had a lady call from Johnson Road Monday morning. And then when I got the email later that day, I called her back and she was very happy. And then she told me today that she happened to be up last night and
see,
she
I
heard
didn't hear anything.
something and she looked out the window and it was a truck with flashing lights and a big fog behind it. So she was very happy.
Yeah, because it could have been the same person because you got a message and I also talked to him, told him it's going to happen that night and they were pretty happy with it. So that's all I have.
All right.
Any questions?
No, I didn't have anything else. Thank you. Okay, chief.
Okay. I don't have much this evening. For the month of May, we had 95 runs. So far in June, we've had 36 in the 9 days. I talked to Finley and Pierce today about the Pierce engine. Unfortunately, the news is not as good as I'd hoped, so I'm hoping to keep working with them to get this timeline down, but they're saying 13 months to get that truck to Wisconsin to repair it. So it's going to sit out here for another year, basically what they're telling me. So, well,
Just sitting there?
we're running it, but yeah, that's my concern. So that's one of my
Sitting
concerns.
outside.
No, it's in the bag.
Do we have one sitting?
Yeah, we got the one out back. We've got to put up for auction at some point. I just haven't got around to taking care of that yet. The something's out there. So, but this is the Pierce that we had the frame issues with. It's going to be repaired. You guys voted on it and everything. So yeah, they're saying 13 months. That's their backlog right now. I'm hoping that will come down. I expressed my frustration with them this afternoon. I was talking to a gentleman that was here in December that met with Ed and I, and also a regional manager from, I think he was from Kentucky. So we're on a conference call together. I'm hopeful that we'll get that down. Optimistic would be a good word. But I explained to him that the truck's out of service. It's doing us no good right now, and we also need to make repairs to the tanker frame before it gets to the condition that the engine frame's in. So they're aware of our frustrations. But the truck is running again. The ECM's been repaired and fixed. So I mean, we are starting it, but we can't drive it anywhere. It's not safe to be driving around. So I can't imagine just doing a whole lot of good sitting there with nothing. So informationally, we're going to be doing hydrant flushing. Normally we do this in April, late April, early May. Obviously with the coronavirus issues that we've had, we've kind of tabled all that stuff. So we're going to be doing that from this Friday, June 12th through, we're giving us till the end of the month to get them done. Lieutenant Morris sent out email to all the affected parties in Harrisburg and Timberlake. So they should be aware, and I've also posted it on our Facebook page as well. And we try to send out reminders when the guys are going out in the morning when they're actually going out to do it. I'll send out a reminder. All our ladder testing was completed and all our ladders passed. If you haven't seen our Facebook post, Lieutenant Moore did graduate from the Ohio Fire Executive Program that we sent him to, the 2.5-year program. Kind of a strange graduation, much like we're doing right now online, with the WebEx type Zoom meeting class, 40-hour class all week. I don't know how that was. He said it was okay. I thought it had to be fairly interesting having been through that program before. I can't imagine there was as much interaction as you get in a live class, but he has completed that program and has successfully passed it. So I would offer my public congratulations to him again. If you guys want to see him and congratulate him, he's here. So
I already did.
good, good. So the rescue tech program is resumed. They've been on a 2-month hiatus. Travis Basin is in that program. They're doing auto extrication this week. They'll extend that program into September and October to complete it now with having missed, I think they missed April and May. So they'll have 2 weeks to make up for that. I've requested out for quotes for additional hose nozzles and appliances. We have about $9,500-ish left in the grant funds. With our match, it'd be just over $10,000 we have left to spend on the 2018 AFG grant for hose nozzles and appliances. That'll complete our project for the year once I get all that information back and get approval to purchase that. So I do have, one real request and then a discussion item this evening. The request will be a resolution to hire Jarrell Jackson as a part-time firefighter EMT. He is part of the Columbus cadet program that they started, I don't know, a year and a half ago, something like that, where they're trying to recruit, younger folks into the fire service and particularly into Columbus, but they're done with their program now and they're branching out. Captain Cloud suggested he comes from Prairie, suggested he comes down here and applies. And I talked to Rob and he thinks the world of this kid. So I'm going to recommend we put him on here as a part-time firefighter EMT pending a drug screen and driving.
Follows our next resolution, number 35. I'll make resolution number 35 to hire Gerald Jackson as part-time firefighter EMT pending the driving, abstract, and drug screening.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Sheets absent. Trustee Hunt.
Here.
Trustee Good.
Yes, yes.
The only other thing I have this evening, besides my coronavirus stuff, is the House Bill 310, and it kind of ties in with coronavirus anyway. That's the federal CARES Act money that the state received to distribute to local communities. I'm not even privy that it's passed the House yet, but I'm guessing since they have some rules out for us, that it probably has gone through the House and passed. Does anybody guess
I
no
would
on that
say
for sure?
it has not,
Okay.
because the OTA just sent a email out this morning, and
There's some changes that were requested.
my email didn't say, they just said about, let me see where it said, they did a question and answer thing. Does the OTA have a sample resolution? It said, yes, you may access it through this email. However, until the Senate concurs on this bill, there is still a chance the language may change via a conference committee. The OTA recommends waiting until the bill receives final approval with the governor's signature before passing resolution.
So I guess my question to you folks is it our intent to accept that funding at this point? I given you some information last time about what I wanted to do with the money if we did accept it. And that sort
My
of
thinking
thing.
is we would accept it.
Okay.
I don't know that That doesn't mean everything you had on your list. We'll have to discuss that,
Right.
but,
See why we wouldn't.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just, like I said, I think, one, it's going to better prepare us to handle the rest of this
Right.
event, whatever it's going to be. And then, potentially prepare us for, long-term future.
And if they don't change it, this is reimbursement through December 30th of this year.
So we did receive some more PPE from the county. Basically, it was a bunch of surgical masks and some cloth face masks that are, we put in with the rest of our PPE stuff. We did order our own cloth face masks that they're black and they kind of match our uniforms that we've distributed to all the firefighters for use when we're on duty, when they're at the store and things like that. So we are following that guideline. And then if somebody comes into the building, we have extra masks to hand them, for if they're working on something in the building here for us. So the other thing we did order and receive was the APR half face pieces. And again, that's, COVID expenses. So we'll be able to use either that money or the money we've already gotten for that. So we had the opportunity to pick them up and we figured we better not wait. So we got them. I think we ordered 60-ish of them, and it was less than $1,000 for them. So we got them at a good price, so we jumped on them when we could. So that's pretty much my COVID night. We relaxed some of our restrictions. We're out doing some of the non-essential stuff again, smoke alarm installations, fire inspection, stuff like that, but with obviously protections, and that was the reason for the cloth face masks and those types of things. So we're out kind of doing some of that stuff, the hydrants. So other than that, that's all I have for this evening. If you guys have anything for me.
They don't.
Okay, thank you.
We'll go on to old business. Ed said that Paul Eberts, the county code enforcement officer, called him and said they are now back to going out 3 days a week. And he was going to check into the uncut lot in Georgesville and then see what he can find out about that.
Okay.
Get back with Ed. So that maybe he may get that taken care of. So that's all the old business I have to.
I don't have any.
Under new business, I just had about the mosquitoes that you already talked about. And then the complaint from Community Gardens that we're doing our part, made a phone call. So do you have any other new business? All right, Paula.
Okay, so we did receive an email on that CARES Act, that Senate Bill 310 that we just talked about, and it did say we'd have to pass a resolution, so we're just gonna hold off on that. Just received some information on the consortium, 2 communities on the pre-bid, copy of a pre-bid PowerPoint on Oswego for that refuge hall that they're working in. We have an injured worker who had applied for additional, and I have copies of the information from there. Additional therapy, I guess. From Franklin County, we received a letter, and it said the 3-year cooperation agreement for participation in the Franklin County Development and Housing and Urban Development program. They had enclosed a cooperative agreement back that we had done previously, and it said that although the agreement automatically renews under the version of this agreement with a 3-year time, 2021, 22, and 23, our jurisdiction does have the ability to opt out of the agreement. And then it goes on to explain that if you opt out, and then there's any issues or funding that comes available. So, did you guys get any of that? Okay, I will copy that to you. Got a letter from the Farm Bureau, said that they had canceled their 2020 policy development meeting, but they provided us with a policy development survey that if anybody wants input on what their upcoming policy is going to be.
Ed will probably want that.
From the OTARMA, they have our annual coverage anniversary dates approaching, and they provided us with a survey questionnaire that they want us to fill out, so I will give that to the department heads. Received notice from Delta Dental that they actually waived our premium, or it said for the month of June, but we had already paid the month of June, so I will just apply that to the month of July, and it's because of the virus, so that was a pleasant surprise. Let's see, on OTARMA, they sent out a sample waiver that we may want to have in place because of the virus, and related waivers are available for following activities. Employer liability and duties go to employees to maintain a safe workplace. Premise liability and duties go to the public, and interaction with the public involved in permit processing, property inspections, and enforcement. So I will copy that for you guys.
You sent that to us too, didn't you?
I think I did.
I think I did read that, yeah.
Yeah, it came through, but okay. If we want to, we can go ahead and request in advance on our property tax. It has to be done by resolution. Some people are paying it, so do you want to go ahead and?
What do you think we should do?
Well, it doesn't hurt to ask for it.
Okay.
So, yeah, you just have to authorize me to request in advance.
Make resolution 36 to authorize Paula, the fiscal officer, to request an advance on property tax.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets absent. Trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Trustee Good.
Yes.
Just a couple of notices or copies of information from worker comp on additional treatment that they recommend denial. Just some information again on our second half of the state tax, where it's been moved to August. The state township newsletter, and just kind of miscellaneous emails, again, a ton on the virus related, and then from like soil and water, those type of things, just their newsletters that they put out. That's pretty much everything.
Do we have something that we do with the budget that has to be done by the end of
That's
June?
in July.
Okay. And we can wait till next meeting and set a date when Ed's here so he can. All right. Okay. We should go into our executive session.
I have one more quick thing.
Okay.
to throw about. At the Ohio Township Association conference, Ed had talked to a couple of roofing companies, have one come out and do an assessment on our roof here in the fire station. And they did that several months ago. Ed has the actual proposal that they have, but the company would like to come out and do a formal presentation, whether it be by WebEx or in person if possible. They would like to do that the first meeting in July if we put them on the agenda. It'll be Dan Schroeder Roofing is the name of it.
Dan Schroeder?
Dan Schroeder. So I think
Would they be able to do our roof?
I would assume they'd be able to do probably your roof too. But yeah, he just did the flat roof here. It needs some work. Ed has there was a binder proposal and all the information, pictures, and Ed I put that in Ed's hands probably back in, April or so before all this went down, and I've been putting the guy off and telling him, with everything going on, it's just not possible to do that stuff right now. But, at some point we've got to address it or we're going to have further issues with the building. So he wants to come in and do the presentation.
I would say if he wants to come in, he can.
I mean, I think the 10 persons, that runs through the end of June. So that'll be lifted by July. And to be honest, they're having 300-person weddings. I think we can have that's for a meeting.
In person is, maybe I'm just old.
I understand.
In person is easier for me. I just can't get used to
I will say as a final thing, as a audience report, we have 4 users. We have four attendees, Roger, Goldie, Anna from the paper, and there's a call-in user. So we do have,
Good.
we do have some people watching, so it's kind of weird.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
They can't hear, they can hear you, they can't say that. They're all muted, so.
Hi, Roger.
Other than that, that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. We will go on to our executive session. So while we are in session, we will pause.
Yes, we will pause the meeting.
Okay. I move to go into executive session according to Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22G1, for the purpose of personnel issues and donating time to a bank for another individual. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Sheets absent, trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
You're good.
Okay, under Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22G, I move to come out of executive session. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Sheets absent, trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
I will make resolution number 37 to establish a donation of time to fellow employee for the purpose of any employees that have exhausted all of their time and other employees want to donate. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Sheets absent, trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Anything else? I have a motion to adjourn then. Second. Roll call?
Trustee Sheets absent, trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.